This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLesio and Kenny Bergamy.
All right, off we go for another fun-filled ag adventure. As the man said, this is the Farm Monitor. Kenny B off this week, so you got me flying solo with you for the next 30 minutes. And it all starts with this. Straight ahead, Jekyll Island, once again playing host to Georgia's young farmers. However, this leadership conference had a different look from years past. John HOLCOMB explains. As we all know, lumber costs have skyrocketed due to the pandemic. But what a lot of people don't realize is that landowners aren't seeing any of those extra profits in their wallets. Why is that? Plus, do we have a treat for all you chicken and veggie lovers? A recipe with a little kick to it. Meals from the field and so much more starts right now on the Farm Monitor. Over the past year, housing prices have reached an all-time high, and a major reason for that is the cost of lumber going through the roof. But despite the surge, private landowners have yet to see any of the benefits. Damon Jones has that story.
Browse any real estate site and you'll quickly notice just how expensive houses have become as the construction costs have soared due to the price of lumber. And the biggest reason for that is a supply shortage caused by the recent pandemic.
The cause of lumber prices increasing over the past year, we're told is a supply and demand issue. Everything that happened with COVID and the pandemic exacerbated those issues, and there were some supply chain kinks that still need to get worked out. We've seen the average price of framing lumber quadruple and OSB prices up more than 400% since last spring.
And that is causing a drag on the number of houses being built, as there is an estimated $36,000 of added construction costs since last year.
Lumber on the market there are shortages around the state. It is a little unreliable for our members for the time that they have to wait to get those products. But then at the end of the day, the price has been the biggest barrier for our guys. As that price has increased from what typically could be $400 per board feet, has gone all the way up to $1,700.
Despite the record high prices, that money has not trickled down to the private landowners across the state. In fact, growers are actually receiving even less money than they were more than a quarter century ago.
I've been in the consulting business for 26 years. I put in 34 years with the Forestry Commission. And when I first went into consulting business, we were selling saw timber for $35, $40 a ton. And today, if you get saw timber, or if you can get $30 a ton, you're doing great. But I think we just don't have the competition that we need in our state for the private landowner to realize the money that he's got in that timberland.
That lack of competition can partly be attributed to big corporations purchasing several mills around Georgia, essentially limiting the number of bidders for local timber.
We've had a big buyout of the sawmills in Georgia. I think one has bought maybe 8 mills and another's bought 4 mills. And all these Canadian companies that's coming in and buying the mills from the local folks that's had these mills for many years.
It's not only having an effect on the grower's bottom line, but can also negatively impact the quality of timber they are producing.
I see people holding on to the timber longer now, and they want to think the price is going to go up, but supposedly the people that know what they're talking about, they say they don't see the prices going up no time soon. And this is a problem. If you're growing timber now, we put roughly 700 trees per acre is what most of us love to put back out there when you cut. So, but if you plant that many trees per acre, you've got to thin some of those trees out. If not, you're going to have a lot of problem with insects.
Reporting from Bibb County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
To Jekyll Island now, where after a year hiatus due to COVID, the Georgia Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers Leadership Conference returned for its annual gathering and fellowship. As always, the conference offered attendees a chance to learn from industry professionals as well as compete in various events. But as John HOLCOMB explains, this year's conference felt more like a family reunion with relatives that many were meeting for the first time.
The beach, palm trees, the Jekyll Island Convention Center. that can only mean one thing, and that's the annual Young Farmers and Ranchers Leadership Conference. This year, just like in past years, there was plenty of food, fun, and most definitely fellowship after the year they've had.
It's great to be back in person. It's great to have a group of young farmers on Jekyll. Farm Bureau's got a long history on Jekyll, a little smaller in attendance this year, but I think we've got a great quality. And like you said, it's exciting to see so many new people here. You know, and percentage-wise, we're over half of the attendees are first-timers, so that means we're reaching a new group of people to be excited for agriculture and to advocate for agriculture. And that makes me feel like we're doing what our goal is we're set out to do.
The importance of this year's conference can't be overstated, especially when this is the first time they've been able to come together in 2 years.
Most everyone here will tell you that relationships are important. They want to connect and want to see each other. And honestly, being in person and having those one-on-one conversations typically spurs a lot of action. And that's what we really want for our members, is for them to take actions in their local counties and in their communities. And so being here together gives them that opportunity to collaborate with one another and be able to be spurred on to go back home and make change and take action and advocate for agriculture within their local counties.
Just like in past years, this one had a theme for members to focus on, and that was for members to step up and step out, something that's no doubt important for farmers and ranchers to do in today's society.
For a lot of our members, sometimes we don't always know what to say and we don't know how to say it. And so hopefully being here this week has given our members the confidence to be able to go back home and really host events and take an active role in their community, because nobody tells the story of agriculture better than our young farmers and ranchers and then our members. And so I think for a lot of reasons, this conference is really helpful and beneficial to give them that confidence and competency to be able to go back into their homes and communities and advocate for agriculture.
I think it's of utmost importance to prepare yourself to be able to advocate for agriculture. You know, we think, well, last year the world stopped for COVID and nothing's happening, but the fact of the matter is everybody that would work against our industry never stopped. And so to be prepared to go out and meet people face to face and to meet people on social media and to speak for our industry, I think this is a good chance for them to recharge, to educate themselves, but to recharge and get, brighten that passion they have for the industry is something we really try to do down here, so that they feel confident when a question is posed on social media that they can answer that question and know that they're giving factual information, but they're also doing it in a pleasing manner to other people.
Reporting in Jekyll for the Farm Monitor, I'm John HOLCOMB.
After the break, from the heart, this Lowndes County farmer explains why he loves growing fresh Georgia vegetables and why he feels his location is the ideal place to do it.
My favorite thing about growing vegetables, it's very rewarding because there's a lot goes into it. And when we got the crop completed and right before we start picking, when it all still looks perfect, I like to ride around and look at it. I guess that's the pleasure I get out of it. My name is Jason Tyrone. I'm a co-owner of Tycor Farms, LLC, and in Lake Park, Georgia. I've been growing vegetables for 10 years. I moved to South Georgia in the year 2000, right after college. It was my first job. I found through a friend working for a ag consulting company. We would consult with vegetables and cotton producers. And vegetables was new to me because I grew up in a row crop area. So I did that for 3 years and learned a lot about this industry. And then I went to work for my now in-laws, working for my father-in-law on the vegetable operation. Started out as managing irrigation and fertilizer. I worked for him till 2009, and in 2010 my now brother-in-law and I started Tycor Farms, growing all the bell pepper, cucumber, squash, eggplant, and cabbage. We understand how important it is for us and farms like us to provide a safe quality food for families to enjoy. Probably 7 years ago, we hired a full-time employee who does nothing but food safety, keeping us up to date with everything, which is constantly changing. It's become a major part of our operation. I think anybody's operation that's still going in fresh produce. Year-round, we maintain around 40 or 50 employees. We use the guest worker program. So during harvest season, such as right now, we'll have between 250 and 260 employees. I would say the two biggest challenges involved in this industry are the labor force, because the rules are constantly changing, and the weather, which is obviously out of our control, and it can cause a lot of problems at times. Fruit and vegetable production contributes almost $1 billion to the Georgia farm gate every year. South Georgia is a great location for vegetables. The weather dictates the different regions up and down the East Coast, and we're in the perfect spot to have two different seasons. We have a spring and a fall crop. When you get a little farther north, the summer's too long and they only get one crop, and then obviously Florida's down in the winter, so it's a great spot for us to have two crops a year. I'm Jason Tyrone, and I'm proud to be a Georgia vegetable farmer.
Yes, Meals from the Field is back at the Department of Agriculture. Last month, of course, we were at Dickey Farms. Thank you to everybody again at Dickey Farms for letting us come out there. We got some really positive feedback from that. Our theme today, quick and easy. We all have busy lives. Kids are getting ready to go back to school. We're looking for things to do, around our houses, working from home. So quick and easy.
Quick and easy.
And that's what we were doing. So yes, welcome to another Meals from the Field. Welcome, Marcia Crowley.
You, Ray.
Good to see you again. And I guess we're starting off with a Georgia staple, chicken.
Chicken, and this is a taco chicken casserole. Who doesn't like Mexican food? Who doesn't like that? And this is really easy. Normally, I don't like to use a can of stuff in the recipes, but I couldn't resist this. This is a 9 by 13 inch pan, and it's disposable, obviously, because
quick and easy.
Yeah. All right, this is a 15-ounce can of, who knew that was going to make that noise? Of black beans that have been drained. And it doesn't matter what brand. They're all, people will argue with me that they're not all the same, but whatever.
I'll be honest, I always get the low sodium black beans.
Low sodium, sometimes they're seasoned or whatever. All right, a can of tomatoes with green chilies. Okay. Put that over top. Like I said, this is the only cans in there, but kind of spread that around evenly. Let me get this out of the way. And then we're going to make a homemade taco seasoning. Yes, you could buy the packet if you want, but this is so much better.
I was going to argue because that's not quick and easy, but
it's not just measuring it out. It's not bad, but it's good to have on hand. You could definitely do this ahead of time. This is chipotle chili powder, cumin, garlic powder, a little bit of cayenne pepper, salt, and that's all that is. See if I can get it in there without making it fly everywhere. All right, that's your homemade taco seasoning. But like I said, if you can use the already made stuff. All right, this is 1.5 pounds of chicken fingers, which we're going to get in there really quick because I know we're on a time limit today. And the reason I like this is chicken tenders. They cook quick. You don't cook them ahead of time. Mm-hmm. Kids love them. Adults love them. Let's see. Spread those evenly on top of the beans and the tomatoes. Looks pretty good.
It does.
All right, then you're going to sprinkle half of this homemade taco seasoning on top. Let me get this on top of the chicken. And it looks like it's very spicy, but it's really not. It's just the different colors of everything. Mm-hmm. All right, then you're going to top that with 1 red, 1 yellow bell pepper that have been sliced, 1 onion, And like I said, this part is not the quick and easy part, but you could do this ahead of time or get your kids to do it. Or I think you can buy them already sliced. I'm not sure, but I think you can. I think I've seen them that way.
Look at all the commodities in there too. You got the fruit and vegetable growers loving the veggies. You've got the poultry in there for our chicken producers.
All right, then you're going to sprinkle the rest of this taco seasoning on there. Let's see, isn't that quick and easy to put together?
That's real easy.
Yeah, it's real easy. It's really good. The good thing about this too is you're going to probably have some leftovers, and you could have tacos, real tacos the next night. Then you're going to sprinkle with 2 cups of blend of Mexican cheeses on top of that. Bake covered for 35 minutes, uncover it, and check the temperature of the chicken, and it should be 165.
Okay.
And you serve that with sour cream, guacamole. I don't know that you would need the salsa, but it was a hit, believe me. Really good.
Okay. What's next?
We're going to do lemon squares. We're going to talk about the salad at the end in case we run out of time. All right, these lemon squares are great. This is a roll of sugar cookie dough that I've cut and I've pressed in the bottom of a 9-inch pan.
That you forced down my throat
That
and made
I
me
know,
eat
I made you eat that
before we started taping.
So, all right, this is 4 eggs, a half a cup of fresh lemon juice with a little bit of lemon zest, and a cup and a half of powdered sugar and a 1/4 cup of flour.
Okay.
You're just going to whisk all this together. I'll get my little whisker out here. And you're going to pour it on top of this and bake it an additional 30 minutes until it's set up. Then you're going to refrigerate it. Okay, we got that? How are we doing on time, Ray?
We're good. We're good.
Last thing then is a salad dressing, and we'll make that quick. This is a lime cilantro vinaigrette that you would serve over your favorite salad greens.
Okay.
It's a half a cup of olive oil, 3 tablespoons of lime juice, honey, cider vinegar, and water.
Oh, I thought you were calling me honey.
Yeah, I am calling you honey. A little bit of oregano.
Sorry, Jim. Sorry.
Sorry, Martha, he's yours. And a half a cup of chopped cilantro. That is it. You mix that up and serve it over your salad, and you have yourself a Mexican meal with dessert.
And there you see the finished product of all those incredible, delicious recipes, which, as we always say, you can make them at home as well, just by logging on to farm-monitor.com. Marcia's so diligent every month getting us those recipes, so you can go in your kitchen and make these too. She is the expert, but you can emulate everything that she does. So, Marcia, so good to see you again.
You, Ray.
Thank you so much. Bon appetit. I know you don't say bon appetit with Mexican, but bon appetit. Enjoy all these dishes, and we will see you next month.
With an extremely difficult year in the rear view, the sights and sounds were priceless. Registered Holstein breeders and their families recently gathered in Lancaster, Pennsylvania for the 2021 National Holstein Convention. It was a time to celebrate, a time to reconnect, and a time to look to the horizon for the U.S. dairy industry. Holstein Association USA President Corey Geiger.
Well, you know, a lot of us were hunkered down during the pandemic, getting the basic necessities done on our farms, and gathering to continue to talk about business and breeding better cows in the future is so important. I think one of the great things about the Holstein cow, she's a cow that fits in all environments, not only throughout the United States, but around the world.
While in Pennsylvania, Holstein Association USA conducted the organization's 135th annual meeting to elect new leaders and discuss important issues for the year ahead. The organization's CEO, John Meyer.
I think the whole idea of people wanting to know where their food is coming from is more important than it's ever been. And that's one of the things that we have with a registered Holstein cow. It's really the pedigree, and it's the family tree on every registered Holstein in America. When you have registered cattle and you can give the family trees on the animals that are producing the food that these people are consuming, I think that's a wonderful story.
Hosted this year by the Pennsylvania Holstein Association, the National Holstein Convention included a wide range of farm tours, youth events, business meetings, and opportunities to visit with fellow dairy farmers. Holstein breeder Matt Hindle from Minnesota.
When we come to convention, we get to see what's going on in all the other regions of the country by talking to people, and you can learn so much from the different farms that we attend. It's always about education at convention, learning, thinking about how we want to make changes to our operation.
Dairy farmers return home with renewed passion and energy toward their goal of producing fresh, high-quality products for the world to enjoy.
It's a fascinating industry, it's an exciting industry, and I think some of the discoveries that we'll make in Holstein genetics, we're still dreaming. We're still dreaming about the future.
For Holstein Association USA, I'm Miles Ramsey.
So, what will the world look like a decade from now? That's the first question wheat breeders at the University of Georgia must ask themselves when starting any new variety trial. Damon Jones takes a look at the long path from the research plot to the marketplace and tells you why so few make it to the final cut.
While rows and rows of golden wheat might be a picture reserved for the Midwest, there's typically around 200,000 acres planted right here in the state every year. With the unique climate and soil conditions of the Southeast, it's imperative to have a world-class breeding program right in your backyard.
The purpose is to develop varieties that are well adapted to Georgia and the Southeast region. These varieties should be very high productive varieties compared to what we have now. At least they have to be equal or better than them for yield. We don't want to have tall variety which they fall down. We don't want to have a very short variety because in dry years it will be short, you cannot even use machinery.
Overall yield is just one consideration that goes into each variety, as getting the plant safely to harvest is of equal importance.
We have a disease called scab or fusarium head blight, which is really a very complex disease and it's a challenge. So since the last 10 years, we have been working to develop varieties that are resistant to this disease, among other like leaf rust, stem rust, stripe rust, and also insect.
That decade of research and development came to fruition late in 2020 with 3 new releases. However, with that much time and effort put into each one, plenty of commitment and forethought were required.
You have to have a vision what's going to be the situation of wheat in 10 years, what's going to be the market, the export market, the industry, wheat industry, milling, baking, what consumers want in 10 years. I mean, we like bread and so on, but in 10 years, maybe a different product which requires different quality.
In that long time period, there is plenty of trial and error, as a staggeringly small percentage of the tested varieties actually make it into the fields.
Each year we are growing about more than 60,000 different genotypes. So among these, we hope after 7 to 10 years, we can find 1 or 2 or 3 like this year. Sometimes we are lucky, we have 3 or 4, but sometimes we have 0. I mean, some years we don't release.
That type of scrutiny has to be comforting for the growers, as they are assured a quality product. However, it wouldn't be possible without all the advancements in technology and procedures.
I can just take DNA from a leaf at early stage, send it to the lab, and they will tell me the gene is there or not. And that's really a very powerful tool that helps breeders to be efficient and reduce time.
Reporting from Athens, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
Damon, thanks so much, and thank you for making the show possible. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Have a great week.